Bienvenidos, welcome, and thank you for joining us for Season 4, Episode 5 of the Panafamilia podcast with Eduardo and Nicole, where we discuss our experience relocating to and raising our 3 young children here in Panama, share our journey of building our new farm and home here in Central America, and let you know what we're learning along the way. We're glad you're here. Vámonos! And we're
live from the dome.
Hey
everyone. Today's a very exciting episode.
Today is the day we talk about cattle.
Cows. And the format we're going today is actually going to be an interview. Nicole thought about this since it is very heavily skewed meat talking. So Me talking.
Oh, meat talking. Yeah, I figured since it's kind of your realm, it'd be fun for me to ask you questions. So I typed out some questions. He hasn't seen them yet, so he's
Speak from the heart
in typical classic E fashion. Just what do you call it? Off the cuff.
Shooting from the hip, as I always say.
Shooting from the hip.
I do everything from the hip for the most part.
Dancing?
Not dancing.
What do you mean from the hip?
Well, like all the
You don't prepare for anything?
Well, I make like the presentations, but I don't actually like ever write notes.
Or like practice in front of a mirror?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. And usually it works out for you, right?
I think so. I still have a job, so.
Well, I'm not there to see them and critique you.
They might be train wrecks and they just like.
Everyone's like, great job. Thanks.
Don't come back. But we're enjoying our coffee right now. We had a really big rainstorm all over. I was in Chiriquí yesterday with Jude working, and Nicole was here in Las Lajas, and it was raining in both places a lot.
Yeah, a lot. It was like rained in the morning, not super hard, but rained in the morning, cloudy all day, and then like poured for like 4 hours yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, it was like from the Pacific. The storm was from the Pacific.
It was dark, yeah.
So they're a little stronger, a little more, they come a lot earlier.
Yeah. It's just, it's a different, there was no like, was there lightning and thunder? No, there wasn't. It's not really lightning and thunder.
Yeah,
that's how you can kind of tell the difference.
Yeah.
The ones that come from the mountains, you hear like the thunder and lightning first.
Like your warning shots, and then
right, and then you can kind of get prepared.
And then we woke up today, and it was sunny.
It's been really beautiful. Yeah, super sunny, and like I always say on those days, I don't know if I've said this before on here, but the days after a lot of water, and then the sun is shining and everything is growing, you can almost see like the photosynthesis happening like in real time.
Yeah,
like the grass literally reaching up.
Yeah, you can like. I feel like if you put a camera on it for the day, you would see it
growing too. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, and it's just so bright, vibrant green. So it was a good morning, and now resting afternoon, recording an episode about cattle. So let's get into it. Are you ready?
Yeah, drill me.
Okay.
I'm gonna close my eyes so I don't see all the questions.
Let's see here. Okay. So I think I want to start with this because I think a lot of people ask this to me and maybe to you too. Was like running cattle, like having cows, one of the main reasons you wanted to move? Or I guess you wanted to buy land here in Panama. Was that like a driving force?
It wasn't the main reason, but it was a big chunk of the reason. I wouldn't say it was number one. Definitely not number one, but I would say it's in the top 5.
Okay.
I grew up around cattle my entire life, and never had my own cattle, never had my own land, only a couple acres in California.
Right, we just didn't have space for it at our house.
Yeah, we had sheep, which was fun too, but I work with cattle, I work with cows, and I just always wanted my own cows. I told Nicole this the other day, but there was a farmer, I won't say what he said exactly, but, I was trying to tell him to do something, and then I remember he told me, he's like, well, if you're so smart,
Oh. This was a client, a
Yes,
dairy that you worked at. Okay.
Yeah. And he's like, well, if you're so smart, why don't you get your own effing cows and do it yourself? And we're friends, so and then it always stuck with me, and I kind of just thought, well, one day I am gonna have my own cows, and
here you are.
And here I am with my own cows, and
yeah,
I wouldn't say it's the number one reason, but I would say the top 5 for sure.
I think part of the reason we wanted so much land is because we knew if we had a lot of land, we could raise cattle. If we came down here and just bought a couple acres, then it would kind of be the same situation. Like, oh, we can't have cows, but we did really want to have cows as part of our homestead.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, it was one of those, I'm very familiar with it. So I could do a good job at it. It was my big thing. I don't want to get into something I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's start raising peacocks. None of us have experience in that.
Or open a restaurant. I don't know.
Okay. So you said you have a background, or you were raised around cows. You work with cows. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background with cows, and cattle? Why are you so familiar with them?
My dad was a herdsman at a dairy farm. So we've always lived on dairy farms because that was kind of what you always did.
Okay.
When you worked on a dairy farm, so a herdsman's basically the herd manager, kind of in charge of health and reproduction of the farm. He's basically the cow guy, right below the manager. And so I grew up helping my dad, went to school, got right back into the dairy farm, and
what did you start doing? What did you get a job doing?
Cow stuff. She hates it when I say that.
Did you become a vet? What does dairy science mean?
No. So I started breeding cows, AIing cows, and that basically I was a relief breeder to give main breeders their days off, and then from there it's basically a training. You start there and you work your way up to your own route, to your own breeding route. So I did that for 15 years, breeding cows.
Okay, but for the last 10 years before you moved, you had your own route.
Yes.
So he bought a route from someone.
So yeah, took over a route, ran my own business. So I had clients that I would visit every day to breed their cows, and then on top of that, I would sell them bull semen genetics. And then I would also do reproduction consulting, and genetic consulting, how we can improve the dairy farm with reproduction and genetics.
Okay. Yes, very true. You learned a lot about the genetic side of the industry, or yeah.
And I grew up on a farm that was very important for dairy genetics, so I was always kind of around it to understand the impact of it.
Right.
And then not that I understood it at that age. I just kind of knew it's something important if Wally made this much money off of it, off of a bull. Yeah. I mean, he was one of the first millionaires off a bull.
So because I watched you from when I first met you to obviously when we left, you had your business for 10 years, learn a lot and become very, very knowledgeable of all the different bulls and what specific genetics are good for working on this dairy or that dairy, or what matches are good for these certain cows if you want this or more fat in your milk. I didn't know about any of that stuff, and I watched you just become very knowledgeable, and then the guys would ask you for your advice,
Yeah. And I was lucky to get trained by really good people that taught me all that over the last 15 years.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't have much experience with beef. It was mostly dairy, right?
Yes. I had very little beef knowledge. What I knew about beef cows was I would show up, June. It was around June, and I would breed a bunch of Angus cows. And I would just hang out, breed them, drink a couple beers with the owner or something like that, and chit-chat. And then I wouldn't come back until the following year.
Yeah, versus the dairies, you show up every
day. Yeah. And all I knew about beef was the cows are black, they're Black Angus. They're a lot shorter and they're a lot wider because they're beef than Holstein cows that I used to work with. And that they eat grass and they raise a baby and that's it.
They're just kind of more left alone versus the high intensive management of dairy cows.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was always like a nice side project because it's just like, it was completely different and it was fun. But as far as like genetics and management, it was very basic.
Knowledge. Okay.
Yes, very basic.
Yeah. And then in the job that you do now, your consulting job, are you working mostly with dairies also, or are you working with any beef operations?
It's basically all dairy still.
Okay.
Very little beef, if anything.
Yeah.
But that's just how the industry is. It's just
right.
It's so dairy centric.
For cattle. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's get into here. What kind of cattle did you purchase here originally? Like what race, what breed?
We got like a mix of, I don't even know what they are, to be honest. You can kind of tell.
What did they say?
They said they were Ghirlando, but they're not Ghirlando.
Which Ghirlando is a Gyr Holstein?
Gyr Holstein, depending on how much. A true Ghirlando is 5/8 Holstein, 3/8 Gyr.
Right.
And then they also have the half bloods, and then after that it's just a purebred Gyr, and the purebred Holstein. But we bought these like, they're all mixed with some sort of Cebu cattle because you can tell with their longer ears, and then the longer
the skin on their neck,
necks, but they're not true Ghirlandos. I mean, some of them are like Jersey with some Cebu. Some are. I mean, they're all. I'd say
some we have no idea.
Some we have no idea. Some of them are very dominant. But like, we just bought them and
11, right?
11. No, 10.
10. We bought 10 heifers.
And there was one cow that we knew was a Gyr for sure because she was very Gyr looking.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the ones that are most dominant. You can tell. Okay, they're brown Swiss with this with Gyr. Right. They're Jersey with this. Right. And then some of the guys. Oh, we just call that the Criollo mix. It's just a bunch of mixed races.
The local mix.
Yes.
Okay, so and why did you specifically want those type of cows? Did you have a vision for what you were going to do with them, or was it kind of just like, oh, these look like healthy heifers, let's just get them? Do you remember?
I know we got them because they had a little bit more dairy to them, and we wanted to milk some of the cows for ourselves. Right. In the beginning, they looked like healthy cows, and they are healthy cows. Mm-hmm. But one of the big reasons I wanted to do it was with these like unregistered. We don't know what they are, cows. We didn't have. I mean, we call them NAB codes to identify who the father is, and we have no NAB codes. We have nothing on these cows. We don't have birth dates on these cows.
And they told us they were all pregnant, and they all did calf except for one. So they were all pregnant except for one. Yeah. Pregnant heifers.
So the main reason I wanted to do was it was more of an experiment to see what we can do, what we can transform these cows' kids with AI, because I knew
down the line.
I mean, it was pretty straight right off the bat. I was like, why would I buy a bull if I can do everything myself?
Yeah. With better genetics.
Yeah, I can buy the best genetics from the United States or Brazil and just breed the cows myself instead of buying a bull here in Panama. Yeah. But it was more. I like seeing transformation, and I wanted like a blank sheet.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Okay, so and then quickly, like, why wouldn't you just buy a bunch of like Holstein heifers or Jersey heifers, like the common ones that you used to seeing in California? Why did you get some that had this Cebu mix to them?
It's basically because of where we live. We live next to the beach. It's very rainy. It's very warm. And it wasn't the warmth that actually concerned me. It was more of the bugs, the ticks specifically. And it just, I was given advice once by someone that like if you want to start with cattle, it's good to just start with cattle that are from that region instead of trying to buy fancy cows from all over the world or this, all different areas. Like just you want to get some cows that are going to thrive in your climate and just kind of eliminate that risk.
Right.
And I just...
So Cebu are good for this climate.
Yes.
Cebu
yes.
races, which are what? Brahma,
Nelore, Gyr, Guzarat. Those are the big ones.
Right.
And I knew ticks were going to be a big deal. At first, I thought the heat was going to be a big deal too, but I honestly don't think the heat is that big of a deal.
Especially because we do have plenty of shade on.
Yeah, we have
farm.
a lot of shade. We have a lot of natural like breeze, ventilation.
Right, yeah.
So I don't, you can measure a cow's heat stress by how fast she's breathing, and our cows are never huffing and puffing.
Yeah, they're never sitting there like
our cows lay down, which is another sign that they're not heat stressed. Like
relaxing.
Yeah. I mean, the cow when she's hot, she's trying to release heat through her body, and she won't lay down so she can release as much heat as possible.
That makes sense.
So our cows lay down. It's just I always knew the ticks, and I was right. The ticks is our biggest issue here. We're always fighting with ticks. You can always tell which ones have a little bit more Cebu than the ones that don't because they just have way less ticks on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we even have one, our most Gyr looking. She's a cow now. She just calved a few months ago. She doesn't really have any usually. She looks so clean. There's like hardly any bugs on her.
Yes, she has like barely. I think I've seen like
What about her udders?
Udders are fine still to this point.
Yeah.
They're they're just...
It's a Gyr. Even more than the ones that look Brahma-ish. It's the Gyr. Yeah.
Well, I think the Brahma, since they're from like United States and from Florida, they still have that winter. Right. Florida still has that winter.
Where some of the bugs will die.
Yeah, bugs will die. So I think they still get that longer hair. But some of the genetics that come from Brazil, some of the places where they originate from, it's just warm like here year round.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, we knew ticks was going to be a big part of what we were going to fight against.
Right. You kind of talked about this, like your original goals was more for dairy and then just kind of like seeing what you could do genetically. What have you learned on your travels for work that has caused you to change or adapt your strategy here? Or have you not?
Yeah, I bought these cows to milk them, but it was always like, I don't know how realistic it is for me to milk all these cows by hand. So I always say like we're a beef farm that thinks it's a dairy farm.
Well, we did buy 2 milk machines, but it just didn't really... It's not really worth it to set them up.
It's easier for me to milk by hand.
And you're only... okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so like I just want to make enough milk for our house, and then if we have some excess milk to sell to local restaurants or people in town.
Yeah.
But like I don't want to sell milk to Estrella Azul or
a creamery
here. I don't think I'll ever get to that size because like I think if I want to get to that point, I got to build a milk barn. So like I always started leaning towards the beef side of things through reading. I started learning more about the difference between like terminal genetics and maternal genetics with the Angus breed, where you can pick sires that produce better females and you can pick sires that produce better terminal crosses for actual food for consumption.
So there's like 2 ways you can go. You're trying to make good mothers, or you're trying to make a really good like meat animal. Right?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
So there's like basically 2 routes you go in beef genetics.
Because when you come from the dairy side, you never think terminal. Well, not until maybe these last 5 years, but you never think terminal. You always just think replacement. How can I make the next best female? Because that's what makes milk.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, wow, this makes total sense. Like, this makes total sense. And there's this whole thing, beef on dairy now, on the dairy side, like, we're starting to think about that. I was like, this is just like beef on dairy. Like, they've just been doing it at a different scale.
Right.
So that was a big eye-opener for just kind of learning about the genetics and how beef farms work. And then I think the biggest eye-opener was when I went to Brazil for the first time, and I worked with our beef team there, and I just learned about Nelore cattle.
Yeah, I feel like you came back from that like very like just like a lot of new inspiration and knowledge.
Yes.
And, like,
so I basically came back and I was like, I only want Nelore moms, and we're gonna breed those Nelore moms to Angus genetics, and we're gonna create this like, we're gonna create our replacements with Nelore semen, and then the cows that we don't want replacements females from, we're gonna breed them to an Angus bull and have a crossbreed.
Like meat,
like this animal, this cow's gonna get bred to this Angus bull that we're gonna focus on terminal genetics like carcass weight and marbling, and then when we raise that calf, we're not gonna keep it, we're gonna raise it to slaughter, and just complete. And then I went down the rabbit hole of like how to manage like what is an efficient beef farm.
Okay.
And it was very easy to comprehend because it's basically like a dairy farm. They're all the same. I mean, you just got to get the cow pregnant and not let cows die and raise a calf.
Like the closer together the pregnancy
is
that what you're saying?
Basically, you just do everything in a tighter window, and then everything follows a rhythm where all your cows calf together. All your cows start the synchronization process together. They all get bred together at the same time. Mm-hmm. Then you preg check them at the same time, and then you start weaning at the same time. Everything just follows a cycle where it's like never ending with a dairy. So it was like, it's just like a dairy. You just follow it, once a year.
Like right now, we've been in like this calving window where we're having lots of calves, and so that's the focus, and milking and calving, right? And then eventually that'll like slow down. Slow down
because everything will be pregnant, and then it'll be like, okay, it's time to wean. Who are we gonna keep? Who are we gonna sell? So I went down that rabbit hole, and it was just very easy to understand because of the dairy background. And
how would you compare like all of that you're saying right now, like running an efficient beef operation, to like what you've experienced with beef operations here? Because you have talked to a lot of people here who raise beef, and the main beef cows here are just Brahma out on pasture. And what is the difference between what you're saying and how like most of the beef ranchers here run their operation?
The beef farmers here, and it's not a slight against beef farmers in Panama. It's beef farmers around the world dairy farmers always say like, I'll raise beef cows when I retire. They're a lot more lackadaisical.
It's more of like a relaxed
hobby. Yeah. You have some really good beef farmers. Some really good. I worked with a few in California. I met a handful in Brazil on my visit. I saw some stuff, but for the most part, it's very easygoing and like, we'll breed them, this and that, and it's not. They don't really treat it like a business. The ones that do treat it like business do really well. I lean more towards the business side,
right?
Because it's fun for me. It's like I like being as efficient as possible.
Yeah, and you can see the difference.
Yes,
between like some other beef farmers that you talk to here, how they're doing things, and then like the kind of process that like you would follow, and you could just see how like checking your cows to see if they're pregnant and getting them all pregnant at the same time using AI versus like throwing a bull with them and hoping that they all get pregnant.
Just simple data. I mean, I'm surprised how some bigger beef farms here like don't even have like calving dates.
Yeah.
Birth dates or anything.
They don't keep track of any of
They don't know which cow is pregnant or open, which is crazy to me.
So are you doing that? Are you tracking all of this stuff?
Yes, I track everything.
Yeah.
I track every...
How do you do it? On a piece of paper, chalk, in the dirt? Like, what do you do?
Like the comedy. Excel.
Okay, so you created a spreadsheet.
I created a spreadsheet, and I put some data that I think is very important for a beef farm, or at least I think a beef farm to have, and I have it separated by females that we're keeping, and then I have a separate tab for calves that we're basically raising to sell or to slaughter for ourselves. And basically on the female side, I just want to know how efficient they are reproductively, when they calf, when they get pregnant,
So you're tracking like, okay, I bred this animal.
How many
I
times?
bred her 2 times. She got pregnant. This other one, it took me 5 times. Okay, next year, if it takes her 5 times again, maybe she's one of the ones we get rid of.
Yeah.
Sell, not get rid of.
So
sell.
that kind of stuff. And then on the male side, on the terminal side, I'm basically tracking. It's a very simple, just the day they're born, and then how much weight they're gaining a day, and I measure that
based on when they're sold.
When they're sold, yeah.
Because you don't weigh them when they're born. We don't have a setup yet. We'd like to have one.
I would like to
weigh
get
them when
that's
you
the
sell
one
them.
thing I am missing is I do need a hook to weigh them when they're born, so that way when we do sell them, I can get a true measurement of how much they gain per day.
Because you're measuring them at the sales yard when you sell them.
Yeah, I measure.
So we've sold 2 groups of bull calves.
This year will be number 3. Yes.
This year coming up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and then all these things that like we've been doing, like we've made a lot. Like my neighbors, some of my friends that have cows, like they almost can't believe like some of the stuff I've done. And I just tell them, it's like, hey, we can do it at your place too. It's
in a short amount of time.
Short amount of time.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I sell cows very aggressively if they don't perform well.
Yeah.
And when I tell them when I sell them, like how early I sell them, they're almost like, wow, like that's way early. I was like, well, yeah, I've already like kind of gave them their shot. I'm trying to be as efficient as possible.
Right.
And then a lot of it's because like I have a bunch of other cows that actually like have performed better. So why would I have those?
Yeah, you see the potential.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because like the way I view it, I view every cow is like a micro business, and I don't want my good cows, the good businesses, to pay for the bad cows, the bad business. So
to just hang around and not make babies and make healthy babies.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would call your cattle operation now dairy on beef? Is that what you'd call it?
No, I
dairy on beef instead of beef on dairy.
Beef on, no, like I said, I think we're a beef farm that thinks it's a dairy farm, and
we're a beef farm that gets a little bit of milk from their cows.
yes, a little bit of milk, enough for the house.
Yeah, you do a good job for us though. Yeah,
for
we're
the coffee.
Milk.
So I would say we're a beef farm that thinks it's a dairy farm, and sometimes we have colliding, what's it called, objectives between me and my wife, because my wife loves drinking the milk. I like drinking the milk.
And the kids.
The kids like drinking the milk.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like picking bulls, like I'm just so focused on the beef now that like I really don't look at anything dairy for our cows. And when I'm saying, hey, I'm going to use this bull now, she's like, well, why don't you use a dairy mix, a dairy breed? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, I want milk. And she's like, I feel like she's worried that like we're not going to have a milk cow.
We aren't, yeah, if you just keep getting away from those genetics.
We'll see how good Nelori's milk.
Okay, so what does a regular day look like for you taking care of your cattle?
So a regular day, what you want to do with cows when you're working with cows is like you want to provide as little stress as possible. Like you want to make everything as like unstressful as possible.
Right.
So in reality, it's really not that much work. It's just you do it every day. Right. And a typical morning is I wake up, I'll drink my coffee with Nicole, and then I'll go out there, and then I'll lay some feed down in the stanchions. And
so we built stanchions here.
Yes,
how many do we have? 13?
13, right? No, 16 or 15. 16.
Oh, okay. And they're covered.
Yeah. So I bring the cows in. I lay some grain down so they can get some dry food in them because they're eating, especially right now where the grass is very wet and green. And so they come in and they're broken in, so they all come in. They're all kind of waiting for me at the gate.
Yeah, they do wait for you. Yeah,
yes.
In the morning.
And then they come in and They eat.
They lock up.
They lock up.
Yeah, with their heads through.
Yeah, and they start eating. They lock themselves up as unstressful as possible.
Yeah, you're not pushing them in, yelling
No,
at
they go in on their own. I'm not yelling.
Yeah.
They just go in, and then that's when I kind of do like my health check, and just make sure everyone's okay, healthy, and then I also chalk them if it's the breeding season to see if anyone's in heat. And then from there,
you check the any calves that have been born recently.
Yeah, I check any.
The moms are locked up.
Because the moms are locked up and make sure the calves have been eating in that first 5 days, 3 days. I always say like the first 7 days are like so stressful for me because I'm always like, is the calf eating? Did you see the calf eating?
Right. Is his belly look full?
Is his belly look full? Especially those first
2 or 3 days.
Those first 12 hours. Like the calves that drink the colostrum right off the bat do so much better.
They're up and drinking, like, okay, they're going to be fine.
So yeah, just make sure the calves are eating. You can either tell by the calf or the cow's udder is completely full.
Yeah.
And luckily we've had some pretty good success, but like, if they're not eating, I'll try to guide them to eat. And then at the same time too, we have the screw fly here. So the calves, I make sure the umbilical cord doesn't have the screw fly. The screw fly is a fly that lays eggs, and then basically leaves
in
open wounds, and it's like flesh-eating virus. It's a flesh-eating maggot.
Yeah.
And it's arriving to the United States, so good luck, guys. But once those first 10 days are gone, and I know the calves are fine, and everything's going good, it's mainly about just checking that everyone's healthy, chalking the cows to see if anyone's heat, and then I'll keep the cows that I want to milk
locked up,
and everyone else will go.
Or if you need to breed someone.
I'll do whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
And then if I got to move in paddock, we made the paddock moves very simple, very easy.
Just open a gate basically and close the other one.
Yeah. And then any other activities, every now and then I'll have to preg check with the bloods, testing, stuff like that. Everything gets done in that first hour.
Yeah.
And then once that's done, you just let the cows go. You let them go be cows.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta let them cows be cows. There's no secret sauce to it.
And then they walk out and they go eat and run around and rest and drink water and live their little happy life.
Yep. I mean,
and the mamas raise their babies, and that's that.
Yeah, and it's also like been very helpful for like my job on the dairy side, because like there is nothing natural about what we're doing with the dairy side of it.
Yeah.
But if we can make it feel as natural as possible, when it comes to like the weaning process of a calf, or how we milk cows, or when we breed cows, or stuff like that, like the more success we see on dairy farms.
Right. Instead of fighting against
the grain. Nature. Yeah. Things that the cow's not supposed to do. So yeah. And then I'll just come back in the evening, separate the calves, and do it again the next morning.
How do you separate the calves?
I have a little separation pin. I basically let the moms eat.
They lock up.
I'll put the calves in this corner pin. Take the cows out. They're used to it, and then they stay overnight.
And then the calves get the run of the little corral.
With the water and the grain and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're safe in there.
Yeah. And then you do that.
But when do you usually start separating? Like, how old would a calf be before you would separate? Is it more how he looks? Or?
It's more how he looks.
Yeah.
If the calf looks good, you can do like at 20 days.
Yeah, and this is an overnight separation.
It's just an overnight
12
separation.
12 hours usually.
10 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
If the calf looks healthy,
you start doing it like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
If not, I just kind of leave.
And that way, when you wake up and go to milk, she hasn't milked all night, and she has a full udder.
Full udder for me to milk.
Yeah. And that's really the only way and the first, you do milk these mamas, these really new mamas, without separation in the very beginning, because they have so much milk, but eventually the baby starts drinking so much, you have to separate if you want to get anything.
That's another thing I do in the first few days is like, it's not really to break him in, it's just to kind of relieve pressure off
the teeth. Because some of them get very like engorged and almost like painful. The baby can't get to it sometimes.
Yeah, so I start milking them just to kind of relieve pressure off the udder.
Yeah.
Not so they won't get mastitis.
How do you involve your kids in your animal tending? Are your kids part of this process? Your children, your 3 sons?
They are very part of the process to a varying degree. Jude is probably the most involved.
And he's 9 now.
And he's the oldest. And he's basically takes care of the cows to a much lower level, basic level, when I'm gone. Because my trips are usually 5 to 6 days, unless I'm going to, like, Texas for a month.
Stupid.
But, so Jude holds the fort down.
Not me. Yeah. Jude does.
Yeah, Jude does it by himself.
Yeah.
And he basically does everything that I do except the breeding and stuff like
that kind of stuff. He's not walking behind the cows, checking them.
But he feeds them and he checks them, sees if everyone's okay. And then if there is a problem, we've been very lucky that we haven't had a problem. Mm-hmm. But if there's a problem, I can call someone too.
Yeah. Well, the other day he caught Peter, the calf.
Yes.
He caught him and tied him up to a tree and then was like, Mommy, we need to spray Peter. He has worms.
And that stuff has been very helpful because the screw fly, it's really not that bad if you catch it really early.
Right.
It's just if you're a day late, it can
Tell him what that guy said one time, how many calves he lost to, because he didn't. He said he doesn't check his cows every day or something.
Yeah, so
tell the story.
I have a friend who has beef cows too, and he's told me, he's like, I check them once a week, twice, maybe
when
twice.
They're calving,
twice
even
a
during
week.
Calving windows.
Even during calving windows, and I'm like, man, during calving windows, I'm like, if I'm at the house, I'm checking twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day. Yeah.
And he told me I go twice a week. And he told me, I lost 5-6 calves to the screw fly just because he didn't get to them.
And then eventually it just eats into their stomach or
it's going into the navel, and if they don't die from that, they get infection and then they die.
Yeah.
And I just sad,
and so unnecessary. And you waited, so many months for that baby. And then,
and that's the hardest thing about cattle is these aren't sheep. I always say you get 1 calf per cow a year if you do a good job. Mm-hmm. If you do a good job. And then just for it to die, it's such a first waste, there's a whole
that's disrespectful to life.
Disrespectful
and secondly,
to life.
Very poor animal husbandry.
The animal welfare part of it is horrible, and then also the financial side of it is that's a bad business. You're losing money.
Yeah. Okay, so Jude does all of that stuff, and then what about the 2 younger ones? Are they becoming more involved?
So the younger ones, I'm starting to incorporate them with me.
Yeah, with you.
With me.
They'll help you when you go milk.
Jude's good enough to go by himself now, and then Jesse and Jean, they go with me, and I give them very specific jobs, basic tasks. And it's mainly confidence builder. Uh-huh. I'll tell them, hey, hold this rope or something like that to milk her, or hey, can you get that for me? Can you give me that medicine, that spray? Yeah. And I'll tell them which one. Then they have to grab the right one. Grab me the iodine so I can put on the navel. Uh-huh. It's just stuff like that. Just to kind of build their confidence.
A few more questions. This is getting long, but that's okay. I think this has been really good, and people who are interested in this, I think, will really find a lot of stuff helpful.
Well, I hope so.
How has your philosophy on raising animals or raising livestock, I guess, changed over the years, or has it not changed?
I don't think my philosophy has changed. I think it's just been reinforced.
Okay, so you've always been smart enough. The best, the smartest.
Yes. No, I've
known this from the day I was born.
No, I just always felt I grew up in commercial dairy farms, and the farms that I saw the most, that did the best job, it was almost comical how they I always just say they just did the small things right. Mm-hmm. And
it wasn't any big fancy expensive stuff. It was certain specific just small things.
No, it's just there's no everyone's looking for a silver bullet, whether it's a dairy farm or a beef farm, and I was very fortunate enough to work with very good farmers, and like they would just like you just spend time with them, you talk with them, and it's just like just doing the basic necessity stuff, giving them good feed, give them a nice dry bed to lay in, giving them space, not overcrowding these animals, just puts you so far ahead of everyone else. and it's always it's always reinforced when I go, when we're doing it here, like, with our cows, like they have plenty of space, we don't overcrowd, we hit a certain cow number and we start selling because we know we can't
sustain
more
land,
without it turning into a mud pit. And it just, and then just following nature, like, I just felt like sometimes it was always like trying to do everything as fast as possible and like not thinking about the ramifications of like those decisions, and just seeing that like, if you just follow nature, you just are a little bit slower pace and doing things the right way, like you'll actually be better off in the long haul. Like I always say, like my biggest pride here has been that the fact that we've only lost one calf in 3 years. Just one calf
with the like intense weather here with and everything.
With everything that's going on with the weather, the sun, the bugs, everything. Like I've only lost one calf, and it was the third cow that calved, and it was when we literally had nothing here.
No like setup.
We had no setup. There's been a couple calves that get close, and we've been able to like save them. I mean, there's a couple calves that like if we didn't have the right setup, they would have died. And we, like, if it wasn't for us guiding them to nurse and stuff like that,
Well, you, not us.
They lived, and they lived to be healthy calves that made us money.
That's very something to be very proud of. Okay, so kind of bouncing off of that, let's just reinforce those things. What do you think are the most important things for overall cattle health, whether it is dairy, beef, or a mix? You kind of mentioned them, but can you kind of lay them out? What are the most important things for cattle health and like well-being?
Number one is feed, like a healthy feed source.
Okay.
It's just like another thing too. I was like reinforced, like there's so many things that like we know about cows that are just so relative to humans, and I always say like, you want to feel good, eat good.
Good. Good food, good nutrition.
Good food. So I think number one is feed.
Okay.
Number two is the right breed in your right zone.
Okay.
For us it's Cebu cattle, and then I think just giving them like space and cleanliness. Space equals cleanliness. Like the best way to like keep cows clean, and when I mean clean is just like, not
laying in their own poop.
Not having a bunch of mud and poop on their udders. I mean, because that's to me, I just see potential infection. It's just having space for cows. And just creating an environment where they're healthy. They can be healthy. They find place. It's hot. Okay, let's go hang on that tree. That tree's really big. There's enough space for everyone to lay there, and the breeze hitting them. And everyone's just going to chew their cud. Versus, this little tree right here, we're all going to be circling around this tree. It's going to get really muddy because we're all concentrated in one spot. I think that's number 2, or 2 and 3. The breed in your.
The breed, and then space and cleanliness. But like there are places that are like enclosed, so cleanliness would be like actual people putting in the work to keep it clean.
Versus
and if us, we don't have to clean it, we just have to make sure they have the space.
I mean, for beef, for us, it's just making sure we keep our paddocks, not overgrazed and overnight. But I mean, for a farm that does have their cows in a barn, like cleanliness
is super dry. Which part of that is dry? Dry to
a wet dry bed. Just drives me insane when I see wet beds.
That's supposed to be a dry bed.
Yes, or a calving pen where the cow's gonna calve, and it's wet. And muddy, and it just like the mom's gonna get an infection, and the calf's gonna get an infection.
Just right off the bat, just starting off bad.
And then like that's like the most critical time, like when they calve, because that's gonna predict her future.
Okay, anything else you would add to that? Or are those kind of the main things?
Yeah, I think those are the main ones.
Okay.
And I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay, where do you see your cattle kingdom in 10 years, and then maybe in 20 years? Because 10 years is kind of like short term.
Yeah, it really is.
20 years is a little more like, I mean, at that, I'm going to be 60 in 20 years, so.
Yikes. I'll be 42.
Shut up. You're so stupid.
That's the age gap between me and Nicole. Where'd I see our kingdom in 10 years, our cattle kingdom in 10 years?
Mm-hmm. As you call it.
Yeah. It all depends on really how much land we have.
But like, so in 10 years, do you want to be renting land or do you want to have bought more land potentially?
If it's possible, yes, I would like to.
Okay. For cows specifically.
Yeah, I think if the right piece of land at the right price comes up, I would definitely jump on it to put more cows on it. In 10 years, I see whether we grow or we maintain, I just see the kids being way more involved in the process.
And what do you see like your herd looking like? Like primarily what? Just a bunch of white Nelore cows out there? Like no Brangus?
To me, it's either going to be a bunch of white Nelore. It's going to be white Nelore cows mixed with like F1 female, Nelore Angus females. And then never going any farther than that for the females.
With a couple like dairy cows for us to keep having milk out there?
She's literally looking at me with maybe one Holstein cow out there.
One? So you're only milking one cow? Does she make like 3 gallons a day? I mean, I guess she could, but that's a lot to milk by hand.
I'll be milking like 4 Nelores by hand just so you can get your
for 1 ounce of milk.
Yeah. I mean, always having, I guess, a designated milk cow for my wife.
Yeah.
Or two.
Yeah.
That
way we can have one throughout the whole year, if they kind of space out their calving a tiny bit.
Yeah.
And what about in 20 years? Just kind of the same?
Just kind of the same thing. Just kind of...
Do you see yourself selling meat, like direct to consumer, or are you just going to continue to do the sales yard? Because it's a lot of work to put in to just send them to a sales yard and get the same price as everyone else.
Yes, for sure.
Right?
I think the biggest thing I see is us trying to cut our meat and sell it privately.
Okay.
Because if we are going to use these Angus genetics on these Nelore cows, for us to really get the premium on the Angus genetics on that marbling, is we need to sell it privately.
Right. To people who are looking for good quality
for higher
beef.
quality beef.
Yeah.
Because there is no grading system in Panama. They just pay by the weight.
Right, that's it. So you wouldn't get a premium price if you took them to the subasta, the sales
No,
yard.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
For all that work.
For all that work.
Yeah.
So I think, they do grow faster. The Angus Nelores also do grow faster. Mm-hmm. But the true premium is trying to get more dollars per pound.
Right. So like what we have talked about is like we have a carniceria. We, cut and package our own meat. We sell it to restaurants. We sell it direct to consumer. Stuff like that. And there are definitely people who have said like, we would love to buy that. I don't know a lot of people that are like raising good meat, good beef, and selling it.
Most of I would say all the good beef you see at restaurants is imported.
They import it, yeah.
Whether it's from Argentina or United States. And
so then it's like
more expensive.
Yeah.
More expensive.
Where we could still sell it for a reasonable price while also making more money than we would by just taking them to the sales yard. Because we don't want to gouge people, right?
For sure.
And we could sell it for a more reasonable price than like Corte Argentino or a restaurant that's selling a ribeye for like $60.
Yeah, I mean, we went to a steakhouse in Panama City a couple weeks ago, and it was
very expensive.
Oh, I mean, it was imported beef from the United States, USDA choice, and it was like $40 a steak. So, all that meat is imported, but like when you drive around here, like all the cows are Brahma.
Yeah.
And
so the meats from the stores and most restaurants and stuff is just Brahma. And
Brahma don't marble, is what I say.
And there's no the cuts here are all very different too. Like it's mostly just either ground or like sliced up like
Minced meat.
Milanesa or minced meat.
Yeah. And there's a place for that meat. You can make burgers out of it. And stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
But like if you do want like a premium cut, like a ribeye or a picanha or a tri-tip or
Any
whatever,
steaks or ribs or all the roasts. Yeah. It's
you do want a better beef.
You want more fat in it for the flavor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap it up here, just under an hour. Thanks for those of you who are still listening. Any final words or thoughts to add to this conversation that we've had here today, my dear?
Go eat meat. Go buy dairy products. Whether you're in the United States, Panama, South America.
Support dairy and beef farmers.
Support dairy and beef farmers. Anything you hear about how we're contaminating the world is all a lie. Frank DeJager or something like that. I forgot his name. Not a DeJager. There's some guy in UC Davis that debunked all that stuff. But
yeah, I mean, look around at the planes and the cars and like the factories sending out pollution. Like, we're really gonna blame cows for like global warming? Like,
I think we have less cows on Earth right now than we did.
Well, the propaganda has worked.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why there's less cows, I think.
And then as far as it being healthy for you or unhealthy for you, that's all a lie too. Just go to South America, and I visited some of these countries that per capita eat so much meat. Like Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Brazil.
So much beef specifically, right?
Beef,
not chicken.
Not chicken, beef. I'm talking beef because
Yeah.
it's freaking cattle continent down there. And as far as healthiness, like they look so much more healthier than
like you're not seeing
parts.
a bunch of obese like people having heart attacks everywhere.
Yeah, I mean you see a chunker here and there, but not as much as you go to some other places.
Yeah.
Like United States. It's good for you. It tastes good. I don't know what else you need. Don't overthink it.
Yeah. If naturally when you smell like a sizzling steak over a fire and it smells really good to you, that probably means your body wants it.
I mean, I think over like the last 2 years, year and a half, 2 years with this job, like I've ate so much good beef.
Yeah.
I think I've been very lucky. And I always joke with the guys down there that like, I don't know if United States has better or worse beef than the South Americans, but I know I can at least afford it down there. There might be a better steak in the United States, but I can't afford it. But down there, oh man, like the picanha, like I could write poetry about that.
It's so good.
It's so good. At the churrascos, it's on a spindle, just getting cut on your plate, or like calling Nicole's picanha, the way she cooks it, it's just really good. It's really juicy. Go eat beef.
That's good. Good parting words.
Yeah.
All right. You happy with the questions I asked, or do you think I missed something?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
What? Okay, my question is, what am I going to interview you about? This is a preview for the next future episode.
Plans outside of cows for the farm or something along those lines. The stuff I'm working on around here.
There's been many times where we'll be sitting in the patio and we're drinking our nightly evening rum and lime, and then we'll start talking about cows, and she's like, I don't want to talk about cows again.
Well, the thing is, it will start with something completely different. Like,
it always goes back to cows.
I saw this episode of The Office, ha ha ha, and then somehow pretty soon we're talking about like, so what's our strategy for breeding for next year? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, can we just like, everything always goes back to cows somehow.
It always goes back.
It always does. Like you can like follow the trail, and sometimes I will like in our conversation. How did it get back to this? And it's pretty funny.
Some of them are pretty funny.
Yeah. But so if we do talk about something else, like you interview me, somehow you're going to bring it back
to
around
cows.
to cows.
I'll do that for sure.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, you can email Eduardo and pay him to come give a consult at your farm.
No, please don't.
No, I'm just kidding. But you can leave us some questions wherever you're listening to this, if you do have any. And thanks as always for listening.
Adios.
Be sure to follow along with us on Instagram at Nourish Farm Panama and visit our website, nourishfarmpanama.com. If you enjoyed this episode or have found something helpful, we would greatly appreciate you leaving us a 5-star review. It would help our show reach more people, and it would mean a lot to us. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time on the Panafamilia podcast. Ciao.